Hey guys, welcome back to my couch and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're just going to go in and talk about how I do my detangling process. This is before you start your wash day, but it is technically the wash day. When I found out this technique worked for me, I was so happy, I was so grateful because, detangling can take a long time. I have 3-technique process. I combine pre-poo, deep conditioning, detangling. So it's all in there. I also found a new brush that really helped with my detangling process. When I tell you my detangling process used to be 45 minutes and it dropped to around like 20 minutes, gone. All that time, just gone, away, goodbye. I found out a more efficient thing to do for my hair. So yeah guys, I just want to show you my detangling technique. It's something that's taken me years to figure out because detangling is such a big process, but you want to make sure that you detangle properly and well, otherwise your wash day is going to be super duper long. Let me just preface this to say my hair is low porosity, so when I deep condition my hair, I deep condition my hair overnight and then wash it the very next morning. Because my hair is low porosity, the pores aren't really open, so the deep condition doesn't really soak all the way through as fast as it can. I do not use heat to activate my deep conditioner. I just put on my bun afterwards. Well, you'll see more into this video. Don't forget to please subscribe and hit that bell to see more notifications from me. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Leave it in the comment below, and as always, I will leave all the products I list in the description. So this video will be nice and short and simple. It will not be as long as last week's. Just going through my detangling process because I know that a lot of girls struggle with the detangling process, especially a lot of kinky, coily girls. So hopefully this will help you out. But yeah, let's get into this video. Yay!
Alright guys, so here I am with my protective style. Your protective style saves your hair. Getting ready to detangle. And oh no, here I am. You know this stage, ladies, where you're trying to figure out what to do when you realize that you have so much work ahead of you. Well, here we go. Alright, so I put my hair into 4 separate sections. There's 2 on each side, 4 in total, 2 in the back and 2 in the front. So I'm going to be using 5 products here. My detangling brush, my leave-in conditioner from Melanin Hair Care, my spray bottle, preferably a mist spray bottle, and my deep conditioner from Shea Moisture, the Jamaican Black Castor Oil Strengthen and Restore Treatment Mask. And of course my satin bonnet. This one I really love because it has a string to pull on how tight you want it to be. So we're going to start off here with my first section. My sections are not the best parts, but here we're just going to make sure we're wetting the first section. You want it to be damp, not thoroughly saturated, but damp enough where each strand is wet. You want to make sure that you're working the water into this section really well. You want to make sure that you're getting rid of the big knots as you're working the water into the section, is what I'm doing right now. Just to let you guys know, I'm looking down at a mirror, that's why I keep on looking down. There's also a TV episode going on, so I'm watching TV at the same time. But you want to just make sure that you're working in the water properly into your hair. You also want to make sure you're getting rid of any loose strands on your hand, so when you're detangling, the loose strands doesn't tangle with your other strands. So here I am taking the leave-in conditioner from Melanin and I'm working that into my section. The leave-in conditioner that I have has a lot of slip. So when you're doing detangling, you want to make sure you have a lot of slip. So here I am, I'm going into finger detangle. Basically what that means is I'm removing all the big knots or any knots that I can feel with my hands instead of with a comb. So I'm just going through my fingers slowly, and as you can see, this conditioner has a lot of slip. My hands are just gliding through my hair. Now, finger detangling before I use my brush to remove the bigger knots is very effective. It'll help prevent as much breakage as I can, and my fingers, they know where the knots are, so they can delicately remove the knots better than a brush. So I always make sure I finger detangle before I brush. using your hands is much better than going in with the brush and ripping out all those knots. And I'm also making sure that I remove the loose strands from my hand before I go back in again. Now here I am, I'm using my deep conditioner. The deep conditioner from Share Moisture, I will leave that in the description below, but I'm working that into my hair as well. Now this whole process is detangling, pre-poo, deep conditioning. Now you're probably asking me, what is pre-poo? Pre-poo is the moisture you put in your hair before you shampoo. Hence that's why it's called a pre-poo. So the shampoo tends to strip your hair of its moisture, so this helps to cancel out the effect. It helps to add hydration to your hair. So this works for my low porosity hair, including the deep conditioner in. Because my pores aren't as open, it takes a while for the deep conditioner to set in. But let me know if you guys want to know more about low porosity, normal porosity, and high porosity hair. Knowing all this information can definitely help you progress towards healthy hair. So now I'm taking my detangling brush, and when I detangle, I like to brush it vertically, then horizontally. So as you can see, I'm going vertically first. So you want to make sure when you brush your hair, you start at the very ends to your hair and work up to your root. That way, you're taking out the knots closer to your ends and then working your way up. When you work your way from your roots to your ends, you tend to just rip out all the knots that it comes out with, or create further bigger knots. So working from the ends to the roots is more effective and helps with breakage. Now this brush, you're able to take off the back so it can be more flexible. I like to detangle my hair when the brush doesn't have the back on. This detangler makes stuff very, very easily. I used to use a wide tooth comb because I didn't think there were detangling options for my hair. Then I tried out this brush, and this brush definitely works. I don't lose as much hair as I would with other detangling brushes, and as you can see, it just glides through my hair. The reason why I take off the back is that it makes the bristles more flexible so it doesn't rip through knots as fast as it would with the back on. As you can see, the teeth of the comb are moving very, very easily. Just so you guys know, I cut out the length of the time I used to detangle my one section. Because I know when I personally watch videos and they're detangling, I say to myself, oh my gosh, how are they detangling their hair so fast? But I cut the actual length for the sake of the video, so that's probably what they're doing as well. But, you know, just make sure you go through the section properly and get rid of major knots. And as you can see, I did not lose a lot of hair. I would have lost a lot of more hair with a wide tooth comb. So after I brush, I just like to go in with my hands and pull out any loose strands at the end that my brush didn't necessarily get. And then I'm going to twist this section off. So I split it into two, and I start my twist. And I twist it all the way to the end. Now let me say I'm so glad I figured out this process because I hated washing my hair, getting out, then deep conditioning for 30 minutes and getting back in and washing my hair. So doing it before I wash my hair has definitely changed the game. It has removed a whole extra step. After I twist my hair, I like to put into a bantu knot. That way it's less messy. It can soak into my hair properly instead of getting all over my satin cap. So yeah, done with one section. So we're just going to go over the process again in the back section. You use your spray bottle. I love the mist spray bottle. Make sure you work the water in, loosening any big knots. Make sure you also get rid of the loose strands on your hands. Then you use a leave-in conditioner, which has a lot of slip, and you want to make sure you finger detangle with your fingers. Now the way I finger detangle is that I use my thumb and my pointer finger to help remove the knots, while I use the rest of my fingers to collect the loose strands throughout the section, if that makes sense. But if you can see, I'm using mostly my pointer finger and my thumb to remove the knots. And that's why it looks like my hands are in fists, kind of. Then you use the deep conditioner and you mix that into your hair. Now, I will not recommend sleeping overnight with deep conditioners to all hair types. I'm saying that this works for me. I know specifically with high porosity hair, this might over condition your hair. So you want to make sure that you're careful with this. I also make sure I only do it for overnight. I don't keep it for more than a day because I do not want to over conditioning my hair. There is such thing as over conditioning your hair. But I just wanted to show my detangling technique. I think this is a better view of it, how I go through it and I properly detangle. And now I'm using my detangling brush to get out any last minute knots. This brush is honestly has just changed my life. It just made my detangling time so much shorter. Remember, I like to brush vertically then horizontally with this brush. And again, I will leave the brush in the description below. And after I brush, I like to go through with my hands and just remove any loose strands. As you can see in the very back, I have heat damage in my hair. I have 4A in the very back of my hair, and some of those 4A do have heat damage. If you see those really straight pieces that were back there, that was just a mistake that I will never ever make again. But that's why you see those really loose straight strands. So then you just, after you twist it, you put it up into a bantu knot on top of your head just to make everything more clean. Make sure that the deep conditioning is really getting to your hair. Now I'm on my last section, my very last section. You know how relieved you feel, girls, when you're in your last section. It's almost time, almost ready to be done with everything. So I'm doing my little dance again. As I mentioned before, I do this process the night before I wash my hair. This way the deep conditioner is not in my hair for too long, but it also has enough time for me to work itself into my hair. So in the morning when I wake up, my hair is much easier to wash. So I use the satin cap. I just put the satin cap on so everything is all in place. I don't get my pillow dirty. So yeah, I'm all done with my detangling process. I know some people like to see how much hair I lose afterwards, so that's how much I lost. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and make sure to subscribe.